in and out, how we be moving. All gas, no break, yo, we be cruising. You and I do and die, but ain't no losing. In and out, how I be moving. Catch a vibe on the scene, all net. Feel like I'm being all hooks. I feel like Kareem. Dream shake, I feel like Hakeem. I can't believe that I'm living this life.
Prime Derrick.
All right, last video. We'll watch a sports video to get up out of here. How good was Derrick Rose actually? That motherfucker was a beast, bro.
Rose was the most athletic
last video
we've ever seen.
What?
Too strong for most point guards with a mind-blowing first step, D-Rose was able to explode and fly in the air like he had springs in his legs, bending the laws of physics night after night. For 3.5 years, he was the most electrifying player in the NBA, serving some of the most disrespectful dunks we've ever seen. Then, in the first game of the 2012 playoffs, Rose fell to the floor of the United Center, holding onto his knee, his face twisted in agony. Derrick,
like, honestly, once I look at the score of the game, and once I know, like how the NBA is, I guess I'm putting today's on it. I'm understanding of why D-Rose in the game. I thought this game was way more of a blowout, to be honest, but it's a minute to go. It's that it happened. It's unpause it. That's all right, bro. What you doing? Motherfuckers, y'all be all right. I with Derrick Rose just like y'all, bro. But the thing, I don't with Tibbs, bro. He run his players to the ground, bro.
Floor of the United Center, holding onto his knee, his face twisted in agony. Derrick Rose, as we knew him, was over. Not officially over, as Derrick Rose played for 12 more years, with some legendary moments, like the playoff game winner against Cleveland.
Yep.
Or the 50 points he scored for the Timberwolves.
Yep.
But Derrick Rose, as we originally knew him, ceased to exist that fateful night in 2012. And his story remains one of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history. Because if Derrick Rose had remained healthy, he probably would have been one of the top 5 point guards of all time. In 2008, the Chicago Bulls had only
works
a
for the Crown family.
1.7% chance of getting the #1 pick.
The lottery's so rigged.
In the 2008 NBA draft will be made by the Chicago Bulls.
But the luck of the lottery smiled upon them, and they got the chance to
right.
draft their hometown hero. Born in the south side of
We need to start investigating that.
Chicago, one of the most dangerous and crime-infested places on the planet, Derrick Rose had a tough childhood. Rose grew up in a 5-bedroom house with a single mom and 3 brothers, but up to 13 people would live in the house at one time. His 2 older brothers were drug dealers, like a lot of other young kids in his neighborhood. But Derrick didn't want that life. His drug of choice was basketball, and he spent most of his time
No, we
playing ball at
don't,
Murray
Laker
Park.
fan.
I was the best kid in my neighborhood at a young age. My whole life.
We
I was
deserve that
always
pick.
the
Stop
one
talking to
everyone was
me.
Talking about. I've never really wanted.
I don't give a what y'all deserve. It's called a lottery. It shouldn't be rigged.
The attention, but it has always been there. As a high school junior, Rose led his high school Simeon Career Academy to a state title with a buzzer jumper in the finals.
Well, too bad. Rig it again. This is sick.
In his senior season, Simeon won the title again, with Rose averaging 25 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds, and 3.5 steals.
Just
And
that line.
Derrick finished his high school career with a record of 120 and 12.
Oh my
He was
God.
wanted by several major programs, but he chose the University of Memphis because of Coach Calipari, and because he believed they would prepare him best for the NBA, which was the only thing on his mind since he was 12. With Rose on the team, the Memphis Tigers started the season with 26 consecutive wins, finishing the regular season with a 33-1 record, and were the #1 ranked team in the country. Rose led the Tigers to the Final Four.
It's UCLA taking on Memphis, 2 #1 seeds. It's really a matchup.
Am I misremembering that?
25 points and
Oh,
9
Pacers. He was on Pacers too. Well, no, he wouldn't. I don't think he was on the Clippers. I do remember the Pacers though.
Yeah, and these are some of the fellas that helped get this trophy.
Due to a controversy over Rose's SAT test, which he probably didn't take at all and had someone else take
Nigga
the SATs
cheated.
for him, the entire Memphis 08 season was deleted from the NCAA record books.
They so fucking stupid. Listen, bro, these niggas did not go to school. Thank God this era is over. I just hated some of the talking points. These niggas did not go to school to fucking be no students, bitch. You know why I'm in Memphis. I ain't coming for no fucking barbecue. I ain't coming for no motherfucking pencils or paper. Where that court at? Fuck out of here, bro. Like, and then I remember they used to make all these excuses. Bro, they shouldn't be paid. They getting a free scholarship. I don't want it, bitch. Who the fuck said I wanted that? I want the opportunity to play here and goddamn go to the NBA. And then also on top of that, with me being here, pay me.
The SAT board themselves, like they do an independent investigation. They conclude that the handwriting on the SAT does not match up with Derrick Rose.
Still, despite
Shit,
the
he was in his
controversy,
bag that day.
all the NBA teams loved Rose's game and his potential. However, before the 2008 draft, there was a huge debate on who was a better prospect, Rose or Michael Beasley.
I see.
Go to the LaMelo route? Nah, I'm not. The LaMelo route, not the route, bro. LaMelo was just a special talent. Shout out to Lamar. I supported the Ball family, but Lamar had LaMelo doing some bullshit. He had him doing the Lamar made his own basketball league where it was like just niggas that wouldn't know nothing. Then he took him to Lithuania. The Lithuania shit was cool because it taught him how to play with grown men and shit like that. Helped his game, but Lamar had LaMelo on some fuck shit. But LeVar. What the fuck? I need to go to bed. LeVar. But shout out to LeVar though. I've been supporting him. I actually seen a clip of LeVar giving Lonzo some new shoes, and you could tell Lonzo wasn't wearing those. LeVar, I fuck with you, but you might be the reason why Lonzo's got bad like knees. Them ZO2s, horrible. They said Lonzo had to change his shoes every quarter.
Rose and Beasley. Why are these two players creating so much buzz?
We know who the first two picks are going to be. We're not sure exactly what order. The decision is
Can't say LeVar don't love his boys, don't you? You can't say that. You can't say that.
But the Bulls believe
Yeah, good
in their
dad.
hometown point guard, selecting him with the first overall pick.
The Chicago Bulls select Derrick Rose from the University of Memphis.
As Rose became just the 5th point guard in history to be selected first overall. And after the first month of the season, it was clear that Chicago made the right choice. The pressure of being the first overall pick meant nothing to Rose, who came out of the gate fearless and ready to dominate. No point guard in the league could match his speed. And when given an inch of space, Derrick would explode to the cup for a thunderous dunk. And even if the lane was
Hey,
closed,
Chad, who was
Rose
fast
still
on the
found a way
court?
to
D.
finish through
Rose?
contact.
Westbrook?
With an unreal ability to contort his body in midair, moving past, over, and sometimes under defenders. It was something cultivated on the concrete playgrounds of Murray Park, where there were no referees and guys trying to take his head off to stop him from
Probably
scoring.
Rose.
When we used to play in the
Damn.
park, there were no fouls. That's why I shoot
Rose,
the
no
crazy
debate.
shots I do.
I don't think. I think the no debate not true. Now, I don't know who was faster. Well, you know, it's been so long since I've seen D Rose footage. I need to go watch it. So y'all could be right, but I just do. I did not forget about Westbrook. That motherfucker Westbrook is ridiculously fast, still to this day, and in his prime, nuts. So for people saying not close, I'm just like, I don't know about that. The answer might be D Rose. Not saying that it ain't, but they're not close. I don't think he was that much faster than that nigga. John Wall's different. John Wall
Because
tough.
I knew I was going to get fouled, but I still got to make the shot. Averaging 16.8 points, 6.3 assists, and 3.9 rebounds, Rose propelled a mediocre Bulls team to the NBA playoffs, almost unanimously winning the Rookie of the Year award.
Yes, sir.
And in the opening round of the playoffs against the Boston Celtics and their Big Three, Rose immediately proved he was not afraid of the moment. In Game 1, he scored 36 points, which tied Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
36
for
as
the
a
most
rookie?
points for a rookie in their playoff debut. Although the Celtics had been the best team in the NBA and would go on to win the title that year, Rose and the Bulls pushed them to 7 games, in arguably the most electrifying series of the playoffs. Rose improved his numbers from the regular season, averaging 26 and 6 on 49% shooting. But it wasn't about the numbers with Derrick. What Rose showed as a rookie was resilience and fearlessness with each drive to the basket, something that was ingrained in his character and something that was reminiscent of the best days of Allen Iverson. You could foul him hard and put his butt on the floor 100 times, but he would get up 101 times, dust himself off, and keep attacking. And this kind of bravery and mental fortitude propelled him into superstardom. And when the 2010 season started, Rose took the reins and became clear leader of the Bulls, giving Chicago a taste of excellence and hope that they hadn't felt since Michael Jordan. Even though he was an introvert who didn't speak much, Rose spoke through his actions, leading by example, and his fighting, never back down spirit permeated through the entire team. Rose made his first All-Star team with averages of 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists per game.
People debate that Ja is similar to D Rose.
In the first round of the playoffs, LeBron.
I understand. I understand why people want to do that. They are both two explosive guards that like to fucking dunk a lot. But I'm not here to say is Ja like D Rose or not. I'm gonna just say that when a player goes down and they become there's nothing that you can do to like compare anybody to him. Like it's always gonna be a if. I know that might not make no sense at all. Ja's his own. Ja better. I don't know. Ja's Ja. D Rose said Ja's better. Yeah. So like, while I do see similarities in a game, I'm not here to say he's like that.
Cavs proved too strong, winning the series in 5 games. Still, Rose shined, once again proving that he was one of those players
D Rose is humble,
better in the playoffs,
for sure,
averaging 27 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. And for the 2011 season, the Bulls fired Vinny Del Negro and appointed.
That boy got y'all fucked up. Y'all think he's something that he not. Nah, I mean, I don't. I think the Ja Morant hype is worth it. Like, is that boy Ja overrated? I don't agree. I think that Ja Morant needs to whenever he on the court, one of the things he needs to be a little more consistent with is when it's time for him to shoot, that shit gets spooky. But I don't think Ja overrated at all, I'm going to be honest.
Did Tom Thibodeau as head coach.
We're excited to have him as the leader of our basketball team. And
you bugging? No, look, I'm not saying that Ja don't shoot, bro. Like, I don't know. When the last time I seen that motherfucker Ja on the court, man, that motherfucker wasn't hitting them shots. Now, Ja can shoot. Come on. Ja is a well-rounded guard, bro. But, man, one of them last time I seen that nigga shoot, that shit looked a little shaky, bro. Nigga went 0 for 6. But honestly, that's the whole fucking Memphis team, bro. I remember the last playoff series I watched them shoot. The only nigga that can shoot on that fucking court was Bane. I'm like, this is hurting my eyes. Fuck. Stop shooting.
I want to welcome Tom,
whose hard-nosed defensive style went hand-in-hand with the mentality of the Bulls' core players in Rose, Joakim Noah, and Luol Deng. Chicago's defense improved from 11th in the NBA to number 1, and their offense went from 27th to 11th, with the second-best net rating in the league. On a defensive-minded team, D Rose carried the offense on his back with 25 points and 7.7 assists per game, fully establishing himself as the most entertaining player in the league. He was splitting double teams like they weren't even there, jumping over defenders like they were middle schoolers. He was always in attack mode, colliding into the heart of the defense like a human version of a warhammer.
I could have seen a prime D Rose and Giannis teaming up, and not for the injuries.
For others by creating advantages one-on-one, and a guy who can win any.
That's an athletic ass lineup, but Giannis ain't gonna be on there.
The lack of a dependable jump shot was his primary one, which was represented by 44% shooting. But still, with his relentless drives to the basket,
who the fuck
Rose
gonna stop them
bending
driving? Nobody.
And creating so much pressure, becoming only the third player since the 1973 NBA season to record 2,000 points and 600 assists in a single season. Rose led the Bulls to 62 wins in the regular season, their most since 1998, securing the best record in the NBA.
That motherfucker legit, bro.
113 out of 120 first-place votes for MVP, and at 22 years and 6 months old, he became the youngest MVP in NBA history.
Nuts.
When the playoffs came around, Rose's numbers rose.
I'm not a fan of the new MVP trophy, and once you actually look at that MVP trophy, that trophy kind of weak too, but it's iconic, and I think the nostalgia got me with this one. I think that the MVP trophy just look better.
Once again, he averaged 27 points and 7
Dick eating who?
assists in the first round against the Pacers, and in the second round against the Hawks, he was even better with 30 points and 10 assists on average. Then the Eastern Conference Finals offered a long-awaited clash between the two best teams in the East, the Bulls and the Miami Heat, who had their newly assembled Big Three, led by the biggest villain in the NBA at the time, LeBron James. Despite the Bulls having the best record in the league, Miami was favored in the series.
Chicago's going to have a tough time scoring.
No, you can do to stop that man, bro.
Miami's probably set up a little bit more with the Big Three.
But Rose and the Bulls stomped them in Game 1, winning by 21 points, fueled by 28 and 6 from D Rose. However, for the rest of the series, Miami's coach Eric Spoelstra made the smart adjustment of having LeBron James guard Rose in the fourth quarter, as he was the only player strong and fast enough to slow down the MVP. Chicago averaged just 14 points in the fourth quarter of the next 4 games, and Miami won each one, as the rest of the Bulls struggled to score without the usual offensive output from Rose. Derrick still averaged 23 points and 6 assists in the series, but he shot just 35% from the field.
My LeBron hate will never die, you hear me?
Suggest Miami deservedly won the series and advanced to the NBA Finals. Those first few years, he was just amazing. That MVP year, literally our whole game plan was trying
to play for the Pelicans? Hell no.
Like the entire game plan.
The NBA's collective bargaining agreement expires midnight Thursday, and if there's no deal by then, well, the owners could impose a lockout.
The next NBA season was put on hold due to a lockout, with the season
it was instrumental. This shit was in like a documentary.
And the Bulls opened the year in the Staples Center against Kobe and the Lakers. With the score 87-86 in the Lakers' favor and 15 seconds to go, the Bulls secured the final possession, and everybody knew who was getting the ball.
The Bulls with a chance to win here on Christmas Day. Rose left, throws in the lane, throws, good! Derrick Rose!
If you watched that game in real time, you had a sense of security that D Rose would make the right play and win the game for Chicago. That was the aura of Derrick Rose at the time, as he was the superstar Chicago had been missing for over a decade.
All right,
and even though nobody was saying that he was on Jordan's level, his play and mentality made Chicago hopeful, believing he was the chosen one, a superstar from the city that would carry them to their next championship. However, Rose's 2012 season was marked by
Merry Christmas, fuck nigga. When the Lakers play the Bulls? Somebody check their schedule.
Injuries, as he played in only 60% of games, with his numbers decreasing across the board. But despite Rose missing nearly half the season, Chicago still secured the #1 seed in the East, and everybody was ready for another clash between the Bulls and the Heat. But
I got you back, Chris.
In Game 1 of the Bulls' first-round matchup with the Sixers, they were up by double digits with a minute and a half remaining. But Coach Thibodeau was notorious for playing his starters 40-plus minutes per game. So Rose was still in the game.
We asked now, chill. Now I'm just asking.
Then, as he was making
January 26th, a few days after my birthday,
awkwardly and crumpled to the floor, holding his left knee. His ACL was gone, and so was his career as we knew it.
Derrick Rose has a torn ACL suffered in Game 1 of the Bulls' first-round playoff series against the Sixers.
He missed the entire 2013 NBA season, and when he returned in 2014, he wasn't the same Derrick Rose. He played gingerly, not fully trusting his surgically repaired knee, without the same burst of speed and athleticism that used to leave defenders in the dust. And then, 10 games later, another disaster. The meniscus in his other knee gave out.
Damn.
One more season went down the drain. After 2 seasons of suffering and rehabilitation, Derrick finally returned for the 2014-2015 season, but he was a shadow of his former self, averaging 16 points on a horrible 35% shooting. On January 28th, Rose scored a step-back jumper with 7 seconds on the clock to give the Bulls a 113-111 overtime win over the Golden State Warriors. Then, 2 weeks later, the NBA world got the news which made everyone's heart sink. Derrick Rose injured his knee again with another meniscus tear.
Derrick Rose reported with right knee pain today. An exam and subsequent MRI confirmed a medial meniscus tear of the right knee.
Slowly but
all
surely,
that
Rose
damn
became
mouth
synonymous
sauce,
with
garbage
knee injuries
diet.
instead
What
of
the
high-flying
hell?
Dunks. But there was hope on the horizon, because this time he was ruled out of play for only 6 weeks and was set to return before the playoffs. On April 18, 2015, Rose played in his first playoff game since that ill-fated Game 1 of the 2012 playoffs, scoring 23 points and 7 assists on 9 of 16 shooting against the Bucks.
Tonight in Milwaukee, the Bulls try to put a stranglehold on this best-of-7 first-round series.
In Game 3 of the series, Derrick had another vintage performance, finishing with 34 points and 8 assists in a tight 113-106 overtime win. The Bulls defeated Milwaukee in 6 games with 19 points and
that
6
nigga had one of the worst hats I've ever seen in
Rose.
Chicago. I'm
Like
gonna
a
let him
wounded
pass. That
tiger.
shit was
Clearly
fucking
not
terrible.
at 100%, but still dangerous and ready for the kill if he gets close enough to his prey. And that's exactly what he did in Game 3 of the second round against LeBron and the Cavs. With the game tied at 96 and 3 seconds left.
Watch your
Derrick was
mouth!
given the
I'm just saying,
opportunity
that
to
was
take the final
fucking
shot, once
horrible.
again displaying his
Yo,
killer
this was
instinct.
so fucking fire to watch live. Oh my God.
Rose led the Bulls to victory with 30 points and 7 assists. And in Game 4, he was even better, finishing with 31 points. But his great game was spoiled by another game-winning buzzer beater.
It's gone. LeBron James at the buzzer.
King James proved to be
this motherfucker. He just called. Hated that nigga, bro. And I'm on the West hating that nigga. I can only imagine being on the East. Being on the East and hating that nigga, bro.
Too much for the Bulls to handle,
Dog.
as he led the Cavs to a 4-2 series victory. But Rose didn't disappoint, averaging 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists across 6 games. And the story continued throughout the 2016 season. Rose was finally healthy, appearing in 66 games. And he had flashes of brilliance, like his fourth quarter takeover against the Thunder, or 30 points against the Knicks in the Garden. However, his great games were too far apart, and they didn't happen night after night like they used to. It was starting to get painfully obvious that the Derrick Rose of old wasn't going to show up. The former MVP was now 27 years old and was supposed to be in his prime, but instead, he only averaged 16 points and 5 assists on 43% shooting, far from superstar level. And even though they had quality players like Jimmy Butler, Pau Gasol, and Nikola Mirotic, the Bulls finished the season with a 42-40 record.
I never got why the Bulls gave up on Jimmy Butler, but
then a shock.
I don't know the whole
Bulls
story.
Management decided to trade their hometown hero to New York, giving up on the dream of Rose leading them to the promised land.
Everything plays out.
So our management is ass.
In my life, period.
Wade and Rondo hated him. Imagine me giving up Jimmy Butler because Wade hated him and Rondo hated him. Man, I can't even remember what you niggas look like in the jersey, except D Rose because he's a part of the. Except Wade because he's a part of the outstanding mean.
In turns like this.
In hindsight, it was a logical move to trade the most expensive player on the roster who wasn't performing like he used to. But at that moment, the trade sent shockwaves throughout the NBA, and it was another reminder that Rose wasn't the same player anymore. However, with the Knicks, Rose had a revitalizing season. It wasn't the old above-the-rim Derrick Rose, but he wasn't trying to be that anymore. Instead of dunks, he used what he had left, and that was speed and craftiness around the basket. Even though he wasn't jumping over defenders, he was still quick enough to go around them and create shots with his handle. Rose played 64 games for the Knicks in the 2017 season, averaging 18 points and 4.5 assists.
Wade and Rondo didn't hate him okay.
47% shooting. However, just when his career started to have an upward trajectory, another injury brought him down.
And Cavs reporter Dave McMenamin, Rose is unsure about his future in the NBA.
And yet, despite all
bitch
the bad
ass
luck,
Greg
pain,
Monroe,
and suffering,
fuck
Rose
you.
was a fighter. He was still that
Greg
kid from
Monroe,
Derrick,
you
who
son of
became
a
the
bitch.
#1 pick and the MVP. After getting traded by the Cavs and waived by the Jazz, D. Rose signed with the Timberwolves, where he reunited with Coach Thibodeau and resurrected his career. In the 8th game of the 2019 season, just 6 months after he considered retirement, Rose had arguably the greatest game of his career against the Jazz, erupting for a career-high 50 points on 19 for 31 shooting, with 6 assists and securing the victory with a block on Utah's final shot as time expired.
Exum has it blocked in the corner by who else? Derrick, 2011 MVP, Rose.
Even without the vertical athleticism, Rose reminded the world what could have been. And after the game, he gave one of the most emotional
I didn't watch this
interviews
performance
in NBA.
live. I just remember turning on ESPN and seeing D Rose crying, and they said he scored 50. I said, "What, nigga?" Like, and this is when you leave your TV on ESPN all day. I don't know. I don't even do that no more. But you leave your TV on ESPN. I walk in the room, D Rose crying. Like, what the hell going on, D Rose? 50. I said, "What?"
History.
We got a young group. My job is to come in, be the veteran, help guys out, lead by example. You see me talking. It's the most I've ever talked
I like
to
this
my
new
teammates
YouTube update.
in
What
my
is
whole
it?
career. So it means a lot.
Coach Thibodeau said that Rose had the character, the humility, and the courage.
He's probably maybe one of the most mentally tough people that I've ever come across.
In the 2019 season, Rose shot 48% from the field and a career-high 37% for three, averaging 18 points off the bench and receiving strong consideration for the 6th Man of the Year. Then in 2020, Rose signed with the Pistons, where he once again had a career year in terms of efficiency, averaging 18 points and 5.6 assists.
18
Next
and 5
season,
with the
he got
Pistons? I
traded
ain't know
to New
that.
York for his 2nd stint with the Knicks, and he was again excellent in his role, finishing 3rd in the voting for 6th Man of the Year. For the next 3 seasons, he remained an efficient role player and mentor for younger guys, ultimately retiring after the 2024 season with the Grizzlies at the age of 35.
I remember the Grizzlies.
Derrick Rose, had he not gotten injured, would have been one of the greatest guards we have ever seen in the history of basketball. And he's a great, great guy. One of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet in your life.
Rose will forever remain one of the biggest what-if stories
Fuck
in
you,
NBA
Stephen
history,
A.
and probably the biggest
Brandon Roy
in this
too.
millennium. Everyone who watched him during his short 4-year peak knows how much basketball lost with his injury. Because
Listen, watched a lot of D Rose, bro. Like, now I know I didn't watch him as much as y'all Chicago niggas, but yeah, we watched a lot of D Rose, bro. And he's one of basketball. A lot of people call him one of basketball what ifs, and like obviously I think it's valid. That's why I've never argued it or nothing like that, because like, bro, the motherfucker was good, bro. It was good. It was just very, very unfortunate, bro. The shoes, nah, it wasn't no damn shoes, bro. It was just unfortunate injuries.
in Chicago and a lot of other places,
Trey One's dropped 100.
than
Man,
life.
I like to
He
get
did
that
things
shit
in
low,
midair
bro.
that broke the physical laws of accepted
We
human
talking about
behavior.
D-Rose, not me,
Watching him
man.
play in real life did not serve justice to his extraordinary speed and athleticism, because if you blinked, you could miss it. Rose's brilliance was such
pro
that
in a
you
few of
needed
them.
slow motion to fully grasp what the hell even happened. The same way you need to slow the frame down to comprehend how a snake bites its prey.
Nah, somebody got to
or
put that bitch
hummingbird
down.
flaps its wings. D. Rose was ready to become a legend, but his story was ultimately written with different letters. Every player who won the MVP ended up in the Hall of Fame. And among the 36 players to win the MVP, only Bill Walton has fewer All-Star appearances than Rose. But unlike Walton, who has 2 NBA rings, Rose never enjoyed deep playoff success, as he only won 3 playoff series in his career. And still,
D. Rose and Paul George are the 2 biggest what-ifs in the NBA. What the hell, Paul George? Why the hell Paul George one of the biggest what-ifs?
despite the shortness
I know the Paul George injury was bad, though. That shit was bad. That shit looked terrible. Oh, my God. But that motherfucker came back and still was open.
of his prime, we have no doubt that he'll eventually get enshrined in the Hall.
I mean, well, we can say D. Rose came back, was still hooping too. But
squeezed up every.
Embiid is a bigger what if than Paul George. I agree. Because when that nigga Embiid is at his peak, that motherfucker is crazy. He's one of the best players in the league.
Every bit of juice out of his talent, and he excelled as a superstar and later as a role player, always improving his game in the playoffs with plenty of clutch shots and some of the memorable highlights in NBA history. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, we have another one for you right here.
Good video, man. Chat, it is 3 in the morning. Get my ass up out of here. Let's play alerts. Make sure I'm caught up. Got a few alerts.